Welcome to the Tim Runs His Mouth podcast. I'm Tim Young, and I have food poisoning today, so we'll see how long I can go. By the way, if you're ever wondering, this is not a Reese's sticker. These aren't stickers for other things. These are all for my favorite cigar company, Ezra Zion and Nomad. Really, really good stuff. And if you want to get your favorite cigars, you can always go to cigarsdirect.com. Cigarsdirect.com is the sponsor for the podcast. Love those guys over there. They have every top cigar known to man. In fact, hold on, I'll show you. Cigarsdirect.com, I can pull up here, as I should have it prepared, ready to go. But why would I be prepared? Why would I do that? And there you go. There's cigarsdirect.com. If you guys want to go get anything from them, lots of cool stuff over there. They have all the top brands, all the things that you could possibly want cigar-wise. They've got all your cutters, your humidors, anything you want. They've got it. All the rare stuff, amazing stuff. Packs and samplers, limited edition. And they got their own gear, which is pretty cool. You should go over to cigarsdirect.com when you can. And I want to thank them for being sponsors of this fantastic podcast here. Tim Runs His Mouth, the podcast. Let's get to all the topics of the week again. Like I said, I have food poisoning I'm getting over. I tried the local Italian place here in town, and I think there was something rotten with the meat or something that I had there the other day. So it's been 2 days of total hell. And I was supposed to have this podcast done yesterday, but I was stuck in bed all day when I wasn't on the toilet. All right, so here's what I want to talk about first. We are going to do... I can't get over that she's still around. Hillary Clinton is still around. And if you want to see something ridiculous, let's see, where's she at here? I'm going to have... Where the hell is she? There you go. Hillary Clinton went on The View the other day, and Hillary Clinton on The View wanted to tell us all that Donald Trump is the same as Hitler. Like we haven't heard that before.
People would get legitimately elected, and then they would try to do away with elections and do away with opposition and do away with a free press. And you could see it in countries where, well, Hitler was duly elected.
That's right.
Right? And so all of a sudden, somebody with...
I love that the coven, the harpies there on The View, just are saying, oh, yeah, no, same thing. Yeah, oh, yeah, no, he's totally Hitler. Anyway, here you go.
those tendencies, those dictatorial, authoritarian tendencies would be like, oh, okay, we're going to shut this down. We're going to throw these people in jail. And they didn't usually telegraph that. Trump is telling us what he intends to do. People would get legitimate.
I want to bring this out again. I'm going to play this clip again for you because you need to hear what she's saying, because she describes another current world leader perfectly.
Elected. And then they would try to do away with elections.
Try to do away with elections. That's number one.
And do away with opposition.
Do away with opposition. Somebody else has done that.
And do away with a free press.
And do away with a free press. In fact, there's another country right now where they've done all three of those things. In fact, they've streamlined things down into one press. Anybody know what that is? What country that is? That would be the Ukraine. And she perfectly describes Zelensky when comparing Trump to Hitler. Isn't that interesting how that works? What a great time. And in case you're wondering where Zelensky's been, he's been begging for money. So here's Zelensky sounding like a Nigerian prince, asking for as much as he can get out of America.
If you can't give us some financial support, okay.
Just something.
Okay, please, give us a credit and we will give you back money.
This dude sounds like a Nigerian prince now. He literally sounds like, if you just give us a little bit this time, and we'll give you back money. How much have we given them already? $200 billion in equipment and money? He needs more in a losing fight. I mean, maybe he should hawk the the Emmy that Sean Penn gave him. Maybe he should sell some autographs or some gear. Open a merch store for all of his nifty outfits that he gets. I mean, you can't help but notice that he's got a new styled up sweatshirt there. He always wears those little outfits. But he's been all around the world. He's got everybody coming in. In fact, Pete Buttigieg went in and met with him this week. Why? I don't know. What's he going to talk about? The roads there? The infrastructure and Ukraine? But this is getting absolutely pathetic at this point. Here's this guy again, begging for money.
If you can't give us some financial support. Okay, please give us a credit, and we will give you back money.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to give us back money if we give him a credit? No. It's not happening. Here's a guy, though, again, as Hillary Clinton described Hitler, got rid of elections, got rid of opposing parties. In fact, made 11 opposing political parties illegal, and got rid of all opposition press and narrowed it down to one state media organization. Wonder if they still show reruns of his comedy show at night. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? But so here's a dictator that we've empowered, and they want to give him more money. He's begging for more money. No. That's not how that works. That's not how that works at all. So here we go. All right. This week, not only was there Zelensky asking for money, not only was there Hillary Clinton comparing Donald Trump to Hitler. I mean, by the way, why is she still around? Why is Hillary Clinton still around? Why is she still being given any kind of media credibility? Is there a chance that she could run in 2024 still? That she could drop her name into the race? I don't know when the last day is to drop her name into the race. But are they looking to give her a job or something? Why is she still floating around? She's just sitting in New York and they're like, hey, just come into The View. I don't know. But I'm really tired of her, and I think everybody else is tired of her. And then she comes out and beats the drum about Trump being like Hitler when she was the one who pushed the Russian collusion nonsense. All right, listen. There was a presidential debate this week, and I'm going to just steal from CBS News and show you the highlights of it because they actually didn't do a bad job of pulling this stuff. Let's see. Here's CBS News, their nifty coverage. Didn't this guy used to be on Fox? Major Garrett. Wasn't he on Fox News? I don't know.
Summary of some of the things said tonight on stage. Let's
Here you
listen.
If you look where we are now, it's a lot different than where we were in 2016. And Donald Trump's a lot different guy than he was in 2016.
Is he? Is Trump a different guy than he was in 2016? I think he's the same. In fact, wouldn't that be one of the biggest criticisms of Trump is that he's the same guy that he was in 2016 with the mean tweets and the making fun of people and the directness when it comes to stuff? Again, you be the judge. I know some of you like DeSantis. You be the judge on that one.
He owes it to you to be on this stage and explain why he should get another chance.
Now, I want to know what you guys think about that because really, does Trump need to be on the stage and debate? I'd love to see it because it would be entertaining, but he's up by like 50 points. And I think he should debate. Don't get me wrong. But if you're up by 50 points, wouldn't it only potentially bring you down to debate? I think it's actually not a bad strategy. Although I do think he should debate. I don't think it's a bad strategy. It's a crazy nuanced concept for me. You know, on one hand, he should be debating and he should give his opinion, but I think everybody knows everything that he's saying. On the other hand, he's up by 50 points. So why waste your time? Is it 50? Is it 40? Doesn't matter. It's a blowout. So why would you waste your time? Again, I don't know where you are on that. I want to know. You can leave it in the comments and email me, tim@timyoung.com, if you want to weigh in on this. But I just don't think he needs to be there. Call me crazy. All right, let's keep going.
These problems are so big and serious that the first thing I would say to Prime Minister Netanyahu is pretty simple. America is here, no matter what it is you need at any time to preserve the state of Israel.
I don't care about Chris Christie. I don't know why he's still there. I don't know how he's even polling well enough to be there. Does anybody know why Chris Christie is still there? I mean, it does make the staff at the Country Kitchen Buffet down the street or the Golden Corral feel safer when they know that he's on a stage. But other than that, I don't know why he's there. I think Vivek, by the way, Vivek Ramaswamy won the debate last night. But I have a lot to think about. When it comes to Vivek, I think there's a lot to talk about. Same with DeSantis, to be honest with you. But Vivek in particular just seems to say everything perfectly right all the time. And that makes me uncomfortable. Is that weird? All right, here's Vivek.
Want a leader from a different generation who's going to put this country first? Or do you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels?
I wear heels. They're not for a fashion statement. They're for ammunition. I'm telling you.
Hold on. Let's play that again.
Who's going to put this country first? Or do you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels?
I wear heels. They're not for a fashion statement. They're for ammunition.
What in the blue hell does that mean? What does that mean? By the way, Nikki Haley botched a bunch of lines last night, but that one in particular, they tweeted that one as well. They thought that was some sort of killer line. I wear heels because it's ammunition. What in the blue hell does that mean? Does anybody know? Anybody have any idea? I'm clueless. Back in. Let's go.
I'm telling you, Putin and President Xi are salivating at the thought that someone like that could become president. They would love to.
The fact of the matter is she doesn't answer
So
the
this is
question.
what I will.
In the last debate, she made fun of me for actually joining TikTok while her own daughter was actually using the app for a long time. So you might want to take care of your family first.
Leave my
before
daughter
preaching
out
to
of your
anybody else.
voice.
Okay. It would. The line should be, leave my daughter's name out of your mouth. Not leave my daughter out of your voice. I don't even understand. Who scripts her? Who is the like, seriously, who comes up with the lines for Nikki Haley? That's too high right there. You can see I'm wearing shorts, by the way. That's what happens when you're if you're watching this. It's what happens when you have food poisoning. Leave my daughter out of your voice. This woman can't even get a one-liner right. Keep my daughter's name out of your mouth. I mean, again, similar to Will Smith, keep my wife's name out your mouth. It's not hard to figure out. It's not hard to do. But for some reason, Nikki Haley can't do it. Let's play that again. And by the way, Vivek makes a very, very good point. We're going to go back through all of Vivek's points here because I thought he was spot on, but I almost think it's too spot on. So here we go.
Daughter was actually using the app for a long time. So you might want to take care of your family first.
Leave my
before
daughter
preaching
out
to
of your
anybody else,
voice.
your adult daughter. The next generation of Americans.
What we should do is ban TikTok, period.
Here's Tim Scott. This is the one quote I guess he got in. I don't know why he's still in it either. Nice guy, though.
Now, we saw under former President Trump, he tried to ban TikTok twice, but was struck down by our federal courts. If you cannot ban TikTok, you should eliminate the Chinese presence on the app.
We should be arming Taiwan. Make sure they have the equipment they need.
Nikki Haley just wants to blow up everything, by the way. She just wants to, and you'll understand why, again, because Vivek Ramaswamy nailed it. But you'll see in a bit. We're going to go through all of Vivek's things.
Sure they have the training they need now. There's nothing China fears more than knowing that America will have Taiwan's back.
I'm going to unleash all of America's energy potential. On day one, I'm taking all the Biden regulations, the Green New Deal, ripping it up and throwing it in the trash can where it belongs.
We are already overtaxed in this country, and we should not raise those taxes.
And I think we can get to 3, 4, maybe even 5% GDP growth if we really take the regulatory shackles off of our economy. And against that backdrop, I believe this is our last best window to be able to take care of our national debt problem through those severe measures, including sacrificing the foreign wars that many bloodthirsty members of both parties have a hunger for.
Let me just say to my mama and to every other mama or grandfather receiving Social Security, as President of the United States, I will protect your Social.
I mean, God bless Tim Scott, but nobody's going to end Social Security if they can keep Social Security going. They know old people vote. Obviously, they're going to keep Social Security around. Again, that's not. I don't think that's up for debate at all.
Social Security.
So that's the end of that. The debate last night, I'm not sure why anybody would watch it without Trump there. I just don't get it. I don't get the point of it. I totally didn't even know it was happening, again, because food poisoning, but also it's like, I'm trying to figure out a way to, it's like getting free tickets to like a minor league hockey game, right? You don't know any of the players. You're just kind of going, if you go to attend, or if you're watching it, you're just going to have fun, maybe get some nachos or a super pretzel, because that's the only place you can get a super pretzel, right? I mean, other than going to the supermarket, but they're frozen. It's not as good. The super pretzels at the stadium or the arena, they're way better. So you're not going for the show. You're not going to see the actual players. You're going to, I mean, you might cheer for a team. You might pick a random one, right? If you're going to see a minor league hockey game. But you're not going to be invested in any of these players. And that's kind of how I feel about these debates. You go and you get your super pretzel, maybe get your crappy nachos. because there's nothing like crappy nachos or super pretzel at the arena. But you're not there because you don't care about anybody that's on the stage. You just don't. They just don't do it. So I'm not sure. I mean, who attends this? Like, probably consultants, fundraisers, the people who are still clinging to these candidates for money for their relevance in Washington, D.C. And I mean, it was worth watching when I saw the clips, and I'm glad somebody else clipped it up. I'll be very honest with you. I had no interest in watching it. I didn't even know it was happening. So, the clips were fun, but I wasn't about to dedicate 2-3 hours of NBC to NBC for this. It's just not happening. All right, so let's do this one first. I've got here the Nikki Haley back and forth with TikTok because she got on again. I don't use TikTok. I got banned from it at random once. But so Nikki Haley, the other candidates, criticized Vivek Ramaswamy for using TikTok to campaign. Who cares? Honestly, who cares? He's trying to reach other people. I get it. It makes sense. Look, it is Chinese Communist Party stuff that's running it. But if you can reach people who aren't Republicans through it, good. I think it's fine for now. And then you can ban it later. But the fact that he called out her daughter for using it, or her family for using it, I think a logical point. Now, this is when she gets all up on herself and it gets a little confusing. Also, by the way, we're going to go through a few other things here, but I noticed something else with this. So here we go. This is Vivek Ramaswamy, his interaction with Nikki Haley back and forth. And by the way, it was basically just Nikki and Vivek yelling at each other. Those were the highlights of the entire debate. This is one of them.
Ramaswamy, we've talked about this. You campaign on TikTok. How do you get TikTok banned if you use it?
Well, I want to laugh at why Nikki Haley didn't answer your question, which is about looking at families in the eye. In the last debate, she made fun of me for actually joining TikTok while her own daughter was actually using the app for a long time. So you might.
And by the way, totally fair point. He's not mocking her daughter. He's not bringing your daughter into anything. He's just saying, you can't make fun of me for using TikTok if your own family uses TikTok. Perfectly fine point.
I want to take care of your family first.
Leave my daughter out of your voice.
Leave my, I'm sorry, I brought this up earlier. Leave my daughter out of your voice makes no sense. It's keep my daughter's name out of your mouth. Everyone knows this. Leave my daughter out of your voice. It's like he's doing an impersonation of her daughter, I guess. Is that what it, leave my daughter's? It's just so bad. Nikki Haley is the worst. She's the worst candidate. I don't know how she's made it this far other than the Warhawks and Boeing and whatnot. Keep her in business. Let's go.
The next generation of Americans are using it. And that's actually the point. You have her.
Yeah, the next generation of Americans are using it. I like that, by the way, the people that are agreeing with Nikki Haley, they're all the consultants and all the big money donors and things like that are like the Rhino, the George W. Bush, the Dick Cheney types, the Liz Cheney types, the Adam Kinzingers. That's who's in the audience right now. They're all her people. And she doesn't have to do anything to perform for them because that was a totally botched line. And then she goes with it. But this is even better. This is better what she says after this.
Supporters propping her up. That's fine. Here's the truth. The easy answer.
I want to play this again. Because it's almost like she takes a cue. She's looking over to the side, Nikki Haley.
The easy answer.
And then she rolls her eyes. She goes, "You're just scum," and then she rolls her eyes. As if like she had that line ready to go. There's nothing scummy about what he said. It's not even remote. It's not even remotely close to that. Now she could pull that line on Trump and people are like, "Oh yeah." She could even pull it on like maybe a Chris Christie because he just kind of looks like scum. But you can't pull that on Vivek Ramaswamy for making a reasonable point that the next generation of people are using TikTok and that's why his campaign used it. And also that she can't criticize him for using it when her own family uses it. So this is just silliness and just a complete car wreck of her screwing up points. She's just worthless. Nikki Haley is worthless. That should be the name of this podcast. Nikki Haley is still worthless.
Actually, to say that we're just going to ban one app, we got to go further. We have to ban any U.S. company actually transferring U.S. data to the Chinese.
I'm fair with that. I think I'm fine with that. I think that's great. Look, Nikki Haley'd it. I'm fair with that. Get my daughter's name out of your voice. Or no, he didn't even say that. Get my daughter out of your voice. I even made her quote sound better. So stupid.
story most people don't know. Airbnb hands over U.S. user data to the CCP.
And again, there's Vivek with a really good point. So again, Vivek Ramaswamy going back and forth with Nikki Haley. I think that was the highlight of the night. That's one of the back and forths. If you want to know who and what is important to Nikki Haley and her team, and this should tell you how she is not a Republican at all. Her, let's see here. This is her Twitter this morning. And I got that on here. She is very excited that every lefty paper said that Nikki Haley won. Now, why would that be? Why would any Republican, why would any conservative care what these people had to say about them? But number two, why would they be proud of it? I feel like you've done something wrong. If those people are on your side, you've done something wrong. And so, yeah, Nikki Haley bragging about how Politico, how the Wall Street Journal, how ABC News all said that she won. Isn't that interesting? Washington Examiner's a bunch of rhinos too, by the way. But isn't that interesting how that's what she thinks is important? And that's what she thinks that... See, she's playing for a donor class, and she's playing for money from people who are interested in these things and still believe that this stuff matters and still believe that these people aren't against us. And so that's really the problem here, is when you see that Nikki Haley is performing who she's performing for. It's the consultants that booed Vivek Ramaswamy when she was botching lines. It's the major media outlets. It's NBC that was right in front of her. That's who she's performing for. Not you, not the average American, not the average voter. She's performing for her media friends, her consultants and her fundraisers, and her friends at all of the defense contractors. All right. So I think this is another huge hit from Vivek. Vivek last night, by the way, hit grand slams all night long. And I think this was a really, really good quote from him. And I just kind of want to let it run, but I have to, cut it a little bit here and do some commentary. He's on fire here during this debate. And he's saying things, by the way, what bothers me about Vivek isn't that he's a good candidate, that he's like too good of a candidate. And I almost feel like he nails things in a way that like almost AI has written them for him. It's like almost too perfect. Maybe he's real, but we'll see.
Swami, are you persuaded by President Zelensky's urgent new plea? Where do you stand on more funding?
So what's happening right now is this is Zelensky the other day did an interview, I believe on NBC, the clip that I showed you earlier where he's like, just give us credit. I'll give you money back. I'll give you credit. I'll give you money. And this is Vivek responding.
Absolutely unpersuaded. And I'm actually enjoying watching the Ukraine Hawks quietly, delicately tiptoe back from their position as this thing has unwound into a disaster. The first half of this race, I was the only person standing for it. Now they're actually quietly coming around to being more cautious, as they should. Level with the American people here. Ukraine is not a paragon of democracy. This is a country that has banned 11 opposition parties. It has consolidated all media into one state TV media arm.
Hold on. Isn't that exactly what Hillary Clinton said was what Hitler did? Huh.
It's not democratic. It has threatened not to hold elections this year unless the U.S. forks over more money.
Isn't that what Hillary Clinton said that Trump would do? Because he's like Hitler? Interesting, isn't it?
That is not democratic. It has celebrated a Nazi in its ranks, the comedian in cargo pants, a man called Zelensky, doing it in their own ranks. That is not democratic. More facts for you that you won't hear from the mainstream in either party or the mainstream media. The regions of Ukraine that are occupied by Russia right now in the Donbass, Luhansk, Donetsk, these are Russian-speaking regions that have not even been part of Ukraine since 2014, that other people probably couldn't name those provinces for you. Those are the hard facts. And so to frame this as some kind of battle between good versus evil, don't buy it. And I'd like the likes of the sharpest of the war hawks on Ukraine, Nikki Haley, to have some accountability and answer. Do you want to use U.S. taxpayer money to fund the banning?
By the way, what's interesting about Nikki Haley, and you see it right there, is like she's always looking around. I don't know if she's looking for cues from the audience or not, but instead of saying focused, their body positioning is interesting. So Tim Scott's paying attention. Chris Christie's also paying attention, but they cut him off because nobody wants to see him. DeSantis just always seems awkward. I know he's a good governor, but he always seems awkward. And then Nikki Haley's always looking around and rolling her eyes. It's very odd. Like she's like, I'm a woman. Well, stop behaving like one, right? I mean, like, why are you like looking around being like a little petulant child?
To fund the banning of Christians.
Look at her looking around.
That is actually what's happening. They're using the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. They have banned them. The Ukrainian parliament just did this last week, supported by our dollars. And I think you owe it to the American people, Nikki, to at least this one time
Ramaswamy, thank you. That's time.
At least to
Mr.
condemn
Ramaswamy,
their
thank
banning
you.
of Christians.
Mr. Ramaswamy, thank you.
Look, she's rolling her eyes again.
Mr. Ramaswamy, thank you. We asked the question.
She's worthless. Nikki Haley is a totally worthless candidate. A totally worthless candidate. I'm not sure what her point is of being there, other than somebody at some point, maybe George W. Bush over coffee or something, told her that she deserves to be president one day. But I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure why she's there. I don't know why she's wasting tax. You know, it's probably a scheme. And of course, I have no evidence to back this up, to make sure that her people get paid off, her consultant friends get paid off one last time. You know, you can hire everybody in, hire everybody's friends, hire everybody's family. You can just bring them in. And they can cash in with their graphic design firm and their website firm and their writing and yada yada. I feel like that's what this is, because it makes no sense why she's there. It literally makes no sense why she's there, and she's terrible just across the board. So all right, here's the last one. This is Vivek going after both Nikki and Ron DeSantis. I think this is a really good one. Let's see where we at. Boom. Here we go.
Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, got a $5 million bribe from Ukraine. That's why we're sending $200 billion back to that same country. The fact of the matter is the Republican Party is not that much better. You have the likes of Nikki Haley, who stepped down from her time at the UN. Bankrupt or in debt was her family. Then she becomes a military contractor. She joins the board of Boeing and otherwise, and is now a multimillionaire. So I think that that's wrong when Republicans do it or Democrats do it. That's the choice we face. Do you want a leader from a different...
I wonder if the people from Boeing who were in the audience got really upset at that. Because you know they were there, right? Because you know that all of her friends, all the people who pay her off and the people she pays are there. Like, why is she there? Anyway, I'm going to rewind a little bit here, and we're going to play it again.
And is now a multimillionaire. So I think that that's wrong when Republicans...
Totally factual, by the way.
Do it or Democrats do it. That's the choice we face. Do you want a leader from a different generation who's going to put this country first? Or do you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels?
All right, Mr.
In which case, we've got two of them on stage tonight.
Ramaswamy, thank you.
We've got two of them on stage tonight. So it's not just Nikki Haley. He's also referencing Ron DeSantis and his boots with the lift in them. By the way, super weird that we don't know how, and I know this is so inconsequential, but it really has become a thing. We don't know how tall Ron DeSantis is. Like every other candidate, like everybody knows their height, like it's been like publicly known, but like there's no, like when you Google it, by the way, did they leave her stupid? No, they didn't leave her stupid comment in here. Okay. So I'm going to bring this back up because I want to show you this. Okay. So what's interesting is that, and Google would have this answer. I mean, I'm no offense, I'm using Google people here. But it says here, what is Ron DeSantis' height? This is a story from, I believe they pulled this from the Palm Beach Post. The governor's anywhere from 5'8" to 5'11", which he claims. Abe Lincoln was 6'4", Thomas Jefferson 6'2.5", Ronald Reagan 6'1", Donald Trump 6'2", 6'3". But nobody knows the height of Ron DeSantis, and it's a variance of 3 inches. I mean, it's just weird. Why wouldn't you just get out in front of that and just say how tall he is and just get it over with? Honestly, like the boot thing. I think the boot thing is stupid. Don't get me wrong here. You know, when people are like, "Oh, he's wearing like boots with like height, whatever risers in them or whatever." Look, I'm okay with him doing that. I don't care about it. But like, if you're gonna do it, just admit to it. And just say how tall you are and get it over with. It's just super weird when they're playing the game that they're like, nobody knows how tall he is. Nobody knows he's between 5'8" and 5'11". Nobody knows. That's weird. Why would you allow that to just float out there? Why would you allow, again, like, Why would you allow there to be such a discrepancy? It's just bizarre to me. And I think it goes to mismanagement of a campaign. I think Ron DeSantis would be a great candidate maybe 4 years from now. Obviously, he was a great governor. He is a great governor. But I'm just not sure what they're doing with this campaign and why there are questions out there, bizarre questions like that are out there. You know? I look at this, and I'm sure you guys have too, because, like, again, the Trump campaign was who was pushing the whole thing about his, like, boots, you know, having lifts in them or whatever you call them. I don't use them, so I wouldn't know. To make them look taller. So why wouldn't you just get out in front of it and just say how tall he is? Who cares? Who cares? If he's not tall, who cares? It's nothing you can change. Leadership is leadership, and he's been a great governor. So why would you, like, leave it out there? And why would you make it so bizarre that, like, there are now exclamation points on it and you highlight it because you refuse to say how tall he is, and you're clearly masking it. It's bizarre. The whole thing is bizarre. It's just really odd to me. I don't know why you would allow that to go on. Just knock it out. Anyway, maybe that's just me. But that was what happened this week. We had Hillary Clinton and we had that debate. And I really wish Trump would debate. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see him on stage with these guys, but he had a rally instead. And he put on a hell of a show. And he was in court, of course, destroying people in court as well. He called the... let's see, what did Donald Trump quote? Hold on, I'll see what he said here. I don't want to misquote him because it was pretty good. Well, that's why you don't look up things on Google, because they didn't give me the accurate thing that I was looking for when I said Donald Trump goes off in court. So I'm going to go to my Twitter here quickly and see what Trump said, because it was pretty funny. It's going to take a second. Here you go. Donald Trump explodes on witness stand, calling AG a hack and accusing the judge of fraud. Awesome. Look, that's more entertaining than anything that happened in that case. Or sorry, anything that happened on that debate stage. Again, I'm Nikki Haley in here. Listen, I've been able to get through 30 minutes of this better than Nikki Haley was able to get through 30 minutes of that debate, and I've got food poisoning. It's a whole to-do. I haven't even drank water yet. That's what usually I have a booze here. I've got water today. It's troubling to me. So here's the deal. We've got Trump handing it to the judge and the AG in the kangaroo court, because that's what it is. It's a kangaroo court. Then we've got Nikki Haley looking like a fool and Vivek Ramaswamy sounding like AI in a debate on NBC. And, oh, by the way, I left off one of the biggest pieces of that debate. I want to get this in here because Vivek turned on the questioners. And that's something that sorry, I left that off. Here you go. So this was, I think, the total highlight of the debate. Shame on me. I'm a really bad podcaster here. Here we go. Here was Vivek going off saying how Ronna McDaniel should retire, and then turning on the host of the debate. This is amazing. This is the best clip of the night, and for some reason, I was going to miss it. Shame on me, huh? Here we go.
Swami, let me turn to you. Please make your case. Why should you be the nominee and not the former president?
I think there's something deeper going on in the Republican Party here.
He's right so far, by the way. There's something deeper going on in the Republican Party. Here we go.
And I am upset about what happened last night. We've become a party of losers at the end of the day. It was a cancer in the Republican establishment. Let's speak the truth. I mean, since Ronna McDaniel took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017, we have lost 2018, 2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023. And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you.
Why would she do that when she's given herself, I believe, $250,000 in raises since she's been RNC chair, and probably is going to give herself another raise after the other day, and losing again?
Look, the people there cheering for losing in the Republican Party. Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk we'd have 10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party. You think the Democrats, and we've got Christian Welker here, do you think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate? They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, I mean, Christian, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go.
Mr. Ross.
Sorry. This is how we get our country back.
That is the face of a guilty person, by the way. Because she knows she's a liar and she knows she's a shill for Democrats. That was perfect. That was a perfect question.
We need accountability because this media rigged the 2016 election. They rigged the 2020 election with the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
and they're going to rig this election.
Your time is up.
Accountability.
Let me turn to
That's
Governor Christie.
Yeah, you got to get... They turned right to Christie because they know that Chris Christie is right on par with them. They could have turned to Nikki Haley too, but that was perfect. That was perfect. And Ronna Romney McDaniel is never going to resign. She's never going to step down. There hasn't been a reasonable challenger to her. And it's time for that. It's absolutely time for that. And again, perfect point about the media and who is asking the questions of Republicans. It's total libs who covered for the leftists for years. Why aren't they having Fox News hosts or Tucker Carlson or someone else asking those questions? There you go. Well done by Vivek Ramaswamy, even though he sounds like AI and those answers seem almost too perfect. So we'll see. And I want to know how tall Ron DeSantis is, and I want Nikki Haley to drop out of the race. And, Chris Christie, again, as long as he's on that debate stage, the people at the Golden Corral are safe. So it's good that he's there. I want to thank our sponsor again today, cigarsdirect.com. If you want to get all of your favorite cigars, go over to cigarsdirect.com. Again, they've got amazing limited edition cutters. They've got humidors. They've got basically everything you possibly want. They've got gear from your favorite cigars, but they've got your favorite cigars. They've got the limited edition ones. They've got awesome stuff. When I want my cigars, I go to cigarsdirect.com. It's one of the best places, and it's run by good people. And that's what's important here. They sponsor the show, and I'm glad that they're a part of this, and I get to hang out with them and get to get to promote a really, really good business. So cigarsdirect.com. You guys should go over there and get a deal from them. I think that'd be really fun. If you like cigars, of course it's really fun. The food poisoning's starting to catch up to me. So I've made it 40 minutes. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Guys, thanks for watching. It's been the Tim Runs His Mouth podcast brought to you by cigarsdirect.com and American Greatness. I will see you next week when I will be much healthier. I promise. I'll see you soon.